Okay, this is the recording for Greek 1 on December 3rd, 2018, BL231T and BL620, I think. Final exam. Vocabulary. Choose 50 out of 52 words. Circle the 2 words you do not choose. 1. Erkamai. I come, I go. You can chime in if you know the answers.
I come, I go.
I come, I go.
Eilthon. I came, I went.
I came, I went.
Proskuneo. I worship. Echo.
I have.
I have.
Yes, good. En.
Am.
Apon.
I said.
Adon.
No idea.
I saw. Has.
Who?
Who. Autas.
He.
He. Hutas. This. Ikenos. That. Akuo.
I hear.
Yes, I hear. Ginomai. I become. Gnosko.
I know.
I know. Oida.
I know.
I know. Blepo.
I
I see. Harao. I see. Blepo and harao both mean I see. Dia with the accusative.
On account of.
On account of. Sozo. I save. Ace. Into. Gar.
For.
For.
Poieo.
I make.
I do. Hina.
In order that.
In order that. Hagios.
Holy.
Holy. Pistis.
Say.
A.
The.
26. A is or. Un. Therefore. A. If. Eon.
If when.
If. A is if and eon is if. De.
But.
It is necessary. De would be but. This is de. It is necessary. Crino.
I judge.
I judge. Exousia.
Oh, authority.
Authority. Cardia.
Heart.
Heart. Namas. Law. Doulos. Slave. Prosukamai. I pray. Erotao. I ask. Pos. How? With a question mark. Pneuma.
Spirit.
Spirit. Eurisco. Eureka. I found it. I find. Eurisco. I find. Grapho.
Scripture.
I write. It's a verb. Ends in omega. It's an omega verb. I write. Ethnos.
Nation.
Nation. Gentile. Dia with the genitive.
Through.
Through. Sarx.
Flesh.
Suche. Soul. Uranas.
Heavens.
Heaven. Mathetes.
Disciple.
Disciple. Hati. Because that. Lambano. I take, I receive. Chronos. Time. 27. Tis. With an accent. Who, what, why. 52. Alpha, Chi, Omega. Alpha and Omega.
Oh.
See, I fit Chi in there. Can't say I don't have Chi in the final. Signs of tense identification. List all the indicators of the following tenses. Liquid future. Does it have an augment? No augment. Augment's the sign of past time. This is future. No augment. So liquid future. No augment. No reduplication. Second principal part. Future tense. The stem ends in a liquid consonant, lambda, mu, nu, or rho. Epsilon, sigma, tense formative. Vowel contraction. Circumflex accent. Perfect. Does it have an augment? No. Does it have reduplication? Yes. How do you know these things? That handout that says signs of tense identification. I've given you a big handout that says signs of tense identification or something like that. and it will have all the answers. So, does the liquid future have an augment?
No.
No. Does the perfect active have an augment?
No.
Does the imperfect middle passive have an augment? Yes.
Yes.
Does the aorist passive have an augment? Yes. Does the aorist active have an augment? Yes. Is the future the second principal part? Yes. Is the perfect the fourth principal part? Yes. Is the imperfect some principal part? No. Is the aorist passive the sixth principal part? Present, future, aorist, perfect, perfect, middle passive, aorist passive? Yes. Is the aorist active a principal part? Yes. Present, future, aorist. If it were aorist passive, what would I look for? Augment? Yes. Reduplication? No. Theta, eta, transformative? Yes. Secondary ending, because it has an augment? Yes. Sixth principal part? Yes. Uh-oh. Something fell. Okay, so let's go to the next page. We can come back. Oh, true, false. You can omit one. True or false? The most important part of the Greek sentence is the verb.
Obviously, false.
True. In the indicative mood, time is the most important part of Greek tense.
True.
False. It's verbal aspect. The second principal part is the imperfect tense.
False.
False.
Yeah.
It's the future. There are 5 cases in Greek and 3 declensions.
False.
True. The vocative is also a case. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative, first, second, third declension. So that's true. A verb with a middle passive form and an active meaning is called a perfect verb.
True.
False. It's a deponent verb. The imperfect and present tenses have progressive aspect. True. The aorist and future tenses have unspecified aspect. True. The perfect tense indicates a present state or present effects of a past completed action. True. Aspect has to do with how the writer chooses to portray the progress and kind of action that occurs. True. All cases have one and only one function.
False.
False. Number of them have object of the preposition. The key word with the genitive case is for.
True.
No, it's of. The key word for the accusative case is to.
True.
False. There's no key word for the accusative case. True or false? An adjective in the attributive position generally is preceded by the article. True. Parsing third declension nouns depends on memorizing the lexical form of the noun, which in turn gives you the stem.
True.
False. It depends on the, what does it depend on? The genitive singular. True or false? The word autos has 3 functions. When it stands alone, it means he, she, it. When it modifies another word and it's in the predicate position, it means himself. When it's in the attributive adjectival position, it means same.
True.
True. The way to determine the subject and direct object in Greek is by word order.
False.
False. The aorist tense expresses a once-for-all kind of action. It's the most exegetically significant tense to allude to in a sermon. False. That's false, and it's false. It's false.
False.
I breathed. It's once for all. Now I'm dead. The indicative mood is the mood of contingency. False. It's the mood of assertion. Transitiveness is the relationship between a verb and an object. Voice is the relationship between a subject and a verb.
True.
True. Secondary tenses include the imperfect and aorist because they have augments and secondary endings in the indicative mood. True. They will be comforted by God is an example of the divine passive. Yes. Who will do the comforting? Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Who's going to comfort them? God. Divine passive. True or false? The first and second aorist have different meanings.
True, false.
False. They have different forms, but they're both aorist in aspect. The difference between the forms of the imperfect and second aorist tenses is in their endings.
True.
False. Is in their augments. False. Is in their stems. True. The indicative mood is the mood of assertion or reality as presented by the speaker or writer. True. The direct object of a verb is always in the accusative case. False. Usually, but not always. The breathing mark goes over the first letter of a diphthong.
False.
False. An initial row, that should be a row, not an R. An initial row always has a smooth breathing mark. False. It always has a rough breathing mark. Hro, 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 your boat. The next one, if you miss it, you fail. Greek exegesis is the foundation of sound interpretation and preaching.
False. F stands for fail on that one.
And uh-oh. Does your next page say paradigms?
Don't see any dimes though.
So you have to learn them.
I have 4 nickels instead.
Fill out 5 of the 6 Luo charts. So let's go to the present active in the bottom left-hand corner. What would I write?
Present.
Luo, lues, lue, luamen, luate, lucy. I am loosing, you are loosing, he, she, it is loosing, we are loosing, y'all are loosing, they are loosing. What would I write for the future passive? We haven't hardly covered that.
Luso, Luce.
Luthesamai, luthese, luthesatai, luthesamatha, luthesista, luthesanta, something like that. Okay. In the closet by where Noah is, Noah would stand up.
Don't go in there. You're gonna have to come out.
And on the right above the file, what do you call those things?
Filing cabinet.
Filing, right above the filing cabinets. There's the left. There's
A fan.
yeah, that.
The fan?
No, the black. It's a black holder of.
Black hole.
It's black and it holds paper.
Oh, that's right here.
Yeah. There's a plastic.
Credit card. Hey, you found it. Thanks for coming out of the closet.
There's 2 of them.
Okay. So 2 of you can take these, and you can check if I'm doing it right. Luthesamai, luthese, luthesatai, or I'll just keep it and do it right. Okay, so who wants one of these?
I'll check it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so future passive. Luthesamai, luthese, luthesatai. See that? It's the last column. It's the last column.
Luthesamai, huh?
Yes. Luthese, luthesatai, luthesamatha, luthesista, luthesantai. Now what does the future passive mean? I will be loosed. You will be loosed. He, she, it will be loosed. We will be loosed. Y'all will be loosed. They will be loosed. It's not they will loose, it's they will be loosed. That's the future passive. Okay, let's go to the aorist active. I loosed, you loosed, he loosed, we loosed, y'all loosed, they loosed, and what's the Greek? Elusa, elusas, elusen, elusimen, elusita, what's the last one? Elusan. Elusasasen, samansatesan. That helps me too, but so I don't have to quite pronounce everything. Elusa, elusas, elusen, elusen. I loosed, you loosed, he loosed, we loosed, y'all loosed, they loosed. Okay, imperfect active. Imperfect active. Eluan, elus, eluen, eluamen, eluata, eluan. I was loosing, you were loosing, he, she, it was loosing, we were loosing, y'all were loosing, they were loosing. So the only way you learn this is to keep is repetition and write them down and pronounce them and write them down and write them down and write them down. When I went to Dallas Seminary, I was going to have an exam on this kind of stuff, and I had like 2 days to study for it. So I learned the whole Luo card
Through rote and
through writing it down. I wrote down Luo so I could spell it right too.
So rote means
I draw cartoons.
repetition.
So if cartoons help you. Okay, perfect middle passive. Leluka, lelukas, leluken, lelukamen, lelukate, lelukan, or lukasi. What's the translation of the perfect? Perfect active is I have loosed, but the perfect passive is hi, I have been loosed, you have been loosed, he, she, it has been loosed, we have been loosed, y'all have been loosed, they have been loosed. So what's the key word with the perfect in English? Have or has. And the aorist passive, eluthane, eluthes, eluthe, eluthemen, elutheta, eluthesan. I was loosed, you were loosed, he, she, it was loosed, they were loose, y'all were loose, they were loose. So, anyway, this is 60 points. I think the exam is 200 points. 60 points are these Luo charts.
Wait, there's only...
Well, maybe, I don't know. There's about 200 points on this.
Oh, there's 6.
This exam.
Yeah, the present, the aorist, the inverted future perfect. No.
Okay, parsing. Parse 3 of the following 6. Well, that's generous. Okay, so what word does sodzista come from?
Something.
Sozo. What does sozo mean?
So.
I save. Agapeka comes from what verb?
Love.
Agapao, I love. Epistuthesen
Faith.
is I was believed. It's aorist passive. Ace elthes comes from ace erchomai, I enter. Lucimen, first person plural, comes from luo. And autas, is autas a verb? No, it's he. It's meant there to trick you. That's what Mounce does in every translation. He has one that doesn't quite fit to keep you on the ball. So what do I say? Verbs do not have gender. case and number. Nouns do not have person, tense, voice, and mood, so you don't just fill in everything. So what would I put for a sodzista? Second person plural, imperfect active indicative from sozo I save. Agape ka is perfect. First person singular, perfect active indicative from agapao I love. Epistu thesin should be third person plural. Aorist passive indicative from pistuo, I believe. Acel theis is third person singular. Aorist active indicative from acer kamai, I enter, I go into. Lusamen is first person plural. Future active indicative from luo, I loose. Autas is masculine nominative singular from autas, he. So that's 3 pages. Translation. Translate 2 of the following 3 translations. The other is for extra credit. What does ook mean? Not. What does estin mean?
Is.
Is. Could be he is, she is, or it is. Let's try he is. So what does ook estin mean?
He's not.
Something.
He is not hoda. Come hoda.
Here.
Yes. So ook estin hoda means
He's not here.
he is not here.
Does not come here.
And then in the next clause we translate gar first. Gar
Fish.
for. Egerthe from egg arrow I raise up. For he was raised up. Kathos, just as apen. He said, he is not here, for he has risen just as he said.
He's not here. Oh, he is here. Does that have that verse? That's a nice coffee mug.
Same thing.
Okay, so look at the translation.
We call it when you shoot coffee.
So, how do we translate the number 2? Start with gar, for. Then we go to the subject, hatha'as, for God.
So love the world.
Loved the world in this way, in this manner, with the result that he, Edokan, gave his unique son,
and only son,
in order, or one and only, in order that everyone who believes in him might not perish, but have
the
eternal life. And daimania is what? Demons. Pala is many. Daimonia, pala is
Many demons.
many demons. Ex ebelen. From ekbalo, I throw out.
Many demons I throw out.
He cast out many demons. Name 5 different things in Greek that you could use in a sermon to more accurately communicate the Word of God to your congregation. Okay? So you could bring out the meaning through exegesis. You look at all those piles of books out there. What are you working on?
Word study.
Word studies, yes. You could do word studies. Verbal aspect. Like the present tense is continuous, the aorist is undefined, the perfect is completed action with the present effect. or you could emphasize emphasis, like ume plus the aorist subjunctive. Never, ever, 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 ever.
Ever.
That's emphasis.
You could say I,
Ego, me,
me, myself,
I am.
and I captive.
Okay, what are 3 reasons to learn all the Greek you can for ministry? So why are you taking the class?
To communicate the word of God
Okay,
clearly.
clearly,
To not
accurately.
repeat my answers from above. To get 6 points.
To better understand it for ourselves.
Yes, very good.
Each. That's a lot of paper.
Okay, we'll go back to the beginning and go through it.
The beginning.
Okay, so anybody can answer. Anybody can answer. Erkamai,
Erkamai.
I come.
I come, I go.
give me an English definition.
I come, I go.
Aelthon,
Came, I went.
yes. Proskuneo, I worship. Echo,
I have.
have. En,
And
In.
Apon,
I said.
Adon,
He
I
saw.
saw.
Has,
Who.
who, the owl on top of Has's hat says who. Autas,
He.
Hutas,
His.
Kenas,
That.
Kuo,
I
I
hear.
hear.
Genomai,
I
I
become.
become.
Gnosko,
I know.
Oida,
I know.
Blepo,
I see.
Harao,
I see.
Dia with the accusative,
Kono.
Sozo,
I say.
Ace, Gar,
For.
Poyeo,
I make it.
Hina,
In
In
order.
order that.
Hagias. Hagias, Hagias, Hagias.
Holy, holy,
Pistis, A,
Or.
27, Tis,
Therefore.
What?
Who.
Who,
When? Why? Where?
28, Un,
Therefore.
A,
If.
If.
Eon,
If.
Day,
If.
is necessary. Crino, Exousia,
Authority.
Cardia,
Heart.
Namas,
Law.
Doulos,
Slave.
Is
Slave.
Proseuchomai. I pray. Erotao, yes. Pos, Numa,
Spirit.
Eurisco, Grapho,
I write.
Ethnos,
Nation.
Dia with the genitive,
Through.
Sarx,
Flesh.
Suke,
Soul.
Uranas,
Heaven.
Mathetes,
Disciple.
Hati,
Because.
Lambano. I take, I receive. Chronos,
Time.
Alpha, Chi, Omega.
Alpha and Omega. Crying.
Okay, what are signs of a liquid future?
Bankruptcy.
No augment. No reduplication. Future tense stem. Second principal part. Epsilon sigma tense formative.
Liquidation.
Primary active ending. What about perfect active? No reduplication. No, that's wrong. It has reduplication. That's the sign of the perfect. Augment. No augment. What is the stem? Perfect stem.
Greek.
Fourth principal part. Kappa alpha tense formative. What about the imperfect? Has an augment. No reduplication. Has a present tense stem. First principal part. What about the aorist passive? Has an augment. No reduplication. No connecting vowel. Theta 8 of tense formative. Secondary ending. What about aorist active? Augment. No reduplication. Aorist tense stem. Third principal part. No connecting vowel. Sigma alpha tense formative. Secondary ending. Okay, true false. Sounds like you know the vast majority of that. Paradigms. Attack those. Luo, lues, lue, lumen, luta, lucy, luamai, lue, lutai, luamasa, luasa, luantai, eluana, luasa, luana, luaman, luta, eluan, Anyway, it can all be learned. You can learn it.
Just have to know Lou.
Okay, in the retry of the exam, whoever gets the best on that part of the exam will get one of these cards. Because I don't have very many of these cards, so they're becoming more valuable by the day.
Fine to me.
So whoever does the best will get cards.
Isn't that just a copy of the piece of paper that we have?
Yes.
But it's lemon.
Yes.
And there's Hebrew on the back,
Yes.
just in case you're in that class.
That's right.
If you're in that class, you might want that. You want it.
I don't want to be in that class.
Any questions?
Sorry,
How long do I get to take the exam?
2.5 hours.
the whole week.
3 hours.
I'll be gracious.
Grayson.
I used to have this student, he would finish his exams in like 20 minutes.
Oh.
And he'd get a 99 and he'd run out of class.
Whoa.
Hey, sir. That's because he spent all his time studying and he has no time to finish. I gotta go. I gotta study some more. Are you gonna post this video? Or are you gonna email it to us or something? Is that why
I'm
you?
going to post the video, yes.
Okay.
So if
We'll
you'll-
have access to it. So
Yes. I'll post the video
So-
tomorrow.
you're gonna post it or email it or what?
I'm going to post it.
On Canvas.
It'll be on Canvas and YouTube.
Canvas 2.
It'll be on campus.
That's a thick keyboard.
Okay, so class is over.
Did we have to return these?
What?
Yes, you have to return these.
Oh, well,
You have
see
to
ya.
return these.
Oh.
Yes, they must be returned.
Oh, the ones you.
Oh, yeah.
This did not take home.
No.
Will it be a take home quiz next week? Is it a good
Next week I just
Okay.
Okay, I'll put all the books away so you don't have to worry about that.
Sure. Sweet.
Yeah. It'll take me time to figure it out where they go.
Alright. Did you stop the video?
No.
Are you gonna record yourself putting away the books? Be nice.
Here.
And we'll be watching and see where they go.
Well, actually, I should have told them that. Maybe we got some new secrets.
Yeah.
They whispered to themselves, like, what they don't know is I writ in visible ink. And the last question, 30 points, those fools. I remember telling them to